Is there anybody in there? Hi. Let's do some digestive health stretches, shall we? I can't see the bottom of the screen, but I set it up in a different mode so that hopefully it would work out from over here. We'll see how it goes. It's all a work in progress. I'm Angel, ZGALA. Welcome to Fit and Free with me, where I just try to check in with my own body and invite you to check in with yours in the hopes that we all get a little bit better, a little bit more fit, a little bit more free. And yeah, that's enough about me. Let's get to it. I'm still working on my yoga certification. I'm looking for my other glasses now. And so you will hear me probably try to stumble through some of my Sanskrit words, which if you've been here before, you will have heard before. Ooh, those are dirty. Yeah, so in that regard, I'm going to be doing some malasana, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about some subtle shifting in my thought processes about the exercises I've been doing, including that one, the squat. And I'm going to do some cat-cow or Majjhariasana and Vithalasana. And I'm going to do probably some Uttana Shishosana, which is extended puppy pose, one of my favorites. And I have a little bit of nuanced information to share about that as well as I'm growing. And it's a good time to mention, I believe that health and wellness and growth and learning is an ongoing process. I certainly am not done yet. I don't think there's one way that works for everything and everyone. I think this ongoing process of getting to know ourselves and live the best lives we can. There's some weird noise going on out there, isn't there? Again, it's just part of the process of life. So we do the best we can with what we have from where we are. I encourage you to listen to your own body. This is not about making anything hurt. It's not about competition. It's about letting go of some stress, learning to move our bodies with more ease and wellness, getting a little more strength and a little more flexibility, a little more adaptability, a little more ability, capability in our lives. So all that said, let me let a little bit of blood into my feet, and that's a good time to say I do like to do this forward bend as just a sort of an early morning thing that I do, and just let my spine unwind. So it's a good warm-up pose. I could have gotten into it a little more gracefully, but the point is you get down as far as it's comfortable and you just hang there. I like to bend the knees a little bit, sometimes even put my chest on my knees and just let my spine drape and elongate, and then I'm leaning forward into my toes, trying to straighten the legs, and you could of course use your legs for stability. You could do this with a chair or a couch or something in front of you. The point is to be able to get some relaxation in the spine and in the abdomen and in the neck and the arms. Just relax, shake it out. I'm going to roll on up. Nice and slow, checking in with the spine. And then I'm going to come down into a squat so that we can see each other again. And Malasana, if I'm saying it right, I think is with the knees apart. And I generally do it that way. But I was just watching a very qualified somatic therapist talk about, he calls it the Asian squat, with the legs more aligned in the hip socket. And I think that's a very good thing to practice as well. It's true for the alignment of our digestive system and for just the way humans have done things for millennia before we invented all these cool ways to sit down on chairs. The ability to squat and maintain balance and hopefully go all the way down onto your heels. And if you can't do that, it's okay to put like a towel or a blanket or even a pillow under there to add a pillow's a little squishy, but something to bring that up a little bit so that It's not as far. And then gradually, you might be surprised if you start practicing something with the mindset that you're going to get better, how quickly you will get better. No matter how old you are or how decrepit you've let yourself get, you can start to improve. Don't hurt yourself though, because that's like, I call that the cha-cha-cha. And if you go too many steps back, you might not want to step forward again. Anyhow, from this forward knee position, I'm going to bring the knees apart a little bit and bring my elbows in front of my knees and sort of hook them, pressing the palms and pressing those knees away, using my elbows and pulling the torso forward. And I like to do a little twisting here by sort of anchoring my arm on each elbow and then twisting through the spine a little bit, still pulling forward. That, for me, gives a really nice stretch both through the shoulder and the arm and through the torso, the side of the torso, a little bit into the knee as well. But really, I'm working on stretching the arm and the chest through there, which is something I need to work on more consistently. So giving that a little bit of a massage, just encouraging that to loosen up. And again, back to center, pulling forward. And from here, I'm going to come onto all fours, do some cat-to-cow or Marjariasana and Bittilasana. Whew. Giving the body a little time to adjust, coming through straight back or tabletop position, and then arching the back, tucking the tailbone, tucking the chin, rounding the spine for cat or Marjariasana. Exhaling usually, or you can play with the breath in both directions. And then usually on the inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the eyes, lifting the tailbone, letting the belly drop, but not sagging too much. Really trying to still lift through that for cow. Breathing in. And then exhale. And with the breath. Really squeezing the breath out. And coming back to neutral. I'm going to tuck these toes under. Actually, from here, instead of going into downward facing dog like I usually do, I'm going to leave the knees where they are and extend these arms out into Uttanasana Shishosana, bringing the forehead down toward the floor, all the way down onto the floor. And still trying to keep about a 90-degree angle with the legs and just stretching through the chest, through the arms. Reaching those arms out far, really getting a nice stretch through the pecs. Again, it shouldn't hurt. Nothing should hurt. Just getting to where I can feel a stretch and then just breathing into it for a few breaths and letting that relax. If you're not able to relax and you've gone too far, and pull it back a little bit where you can relax into it and slowly, gently increase that stretch. And come back up. And I'm going to sit back down and talk to you about some twisting and some of the finer points, the subtleties of, a lot of times I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, less is more. And that really is true when it comes to changing the way we move. Sometimes of course, sometimes you want to build muscle, you want to build strength. That takes a load, it takes repetition, all that is valid. And sometimes though, I have had, and I've seen a lot in my body working days, people have a structural like malalignment or malfunction, that a way that we're operating or compensating or holding some tension that is affecting the whole sequence of movements that comes after that. So when we can back up and spend some time really paying attention to retraining the body to feel safe, to feel efficient, to feel effective, to trust itself, to know that we can propel ourselves forward. We have an ability to heal, to move things through our body, whether it's emotion or pain or stagnation, by moving, by breathing in and breathing out. That's available to us all the time. Another tip that's available to us all the time is rhythm, which breathing takes advantage of as well. Our bodies are really rhythmic beings, rhythmic meat machines. And so if you're feeling dysregulated, or even if you're not, you just want to play with a new tool that might help you operate more efficiently and effectively through the day, I encourage you to try some tapping. There are many different methods out there. In a lot of martial arts, we do a lot of tapping over the joints, and I find that is an effective way to like dislodge stagnation sometimes. So is shaking. You can get into a rhythmic, rhythmic flexing of the spine or of any other muscle groups, and all of those can be very, very healing. And then there's just the basic drumming or tapping. I say just, but it's probably not merely, but is actually one of the oldest and most effective and quickest tools that we have to re-regulate ourselves, to get our whole system into coherence. You can actually get a whole room full of humans into coherence by clapping, for example, to a rhythm. And then here's another cool trick that I just saw someone use on the internet, which is combining the physiological sigh with some taps and a clap. And I would say you could even do the cross arm tap. There's a lot to that. It actually helps regulate the brain. And so even though that might seem silly, it reminded me of like junior high days and the drill team and stuff, but actually we're so wise. That is a great way to re-regulate the system. So the short version that I saw someone else do, I'm getting congested here, was physiological sigh, which is a deep breath in followed by a short, another deep breath in, and then a long exhale out through the mouth. That's in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then this genius somatic healer was adding 2 taps on the knees and 1 clap. And then here we go with the breath, breathing in, and then a little bit more, and then out. And then breathing in. One more. I find that very re-regulating. I think as few as even 1 cycle, but definitely 3 to 5 cycles can reset your nervous system, can bring you back into a more regulated state, can help dissipate some anxious energy, or just, if you have excess emotion that you're not really sure how to handle, that can be a great tool. Even if you have to go to the bathroom and do it, if you're really feeling dysregulated, but, or into your car, or just start doing it in the office or wherever you are. I don't think it really matters as much to anyone else as it's going to matter to you to get yourself re-regulated. And you can actually make it into a fun little cheer if you want, or something, if you're like in line at the grocery store, for example. I don't know. Try it out and let me know what you think. That's just ideas. That's just me real time sharing what I'm learning, because we're all in this together. I'd like to remind you that I am getting my eBay business back we're back, baby. Sleeping Dragons Company. I've been sputtering along on Etsy, kind of barely alive for more than 5 years now, and I've decided to revamp and make another go of it. So right now, my URL, www.sleepingdragonsco.com, will take you probably to my Etsy store, but soon it will probably take you back to eBay. We'll see. Check it out. In any case, there should be a link down there, and there's also a link to lots of other things. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and stay fit, stay free, stay courageous, stay curious. I'll be seeing you. Ciao.